Assalamu alaikum, Mr. Wins. Hey! You know what's exciting? Seeing people on chat. Ren Wins. Matt. He'll be here by 7. My day was good. Very, very, very busy. Very busy. I had to drop off my car at the rental. Malek, I 100% knew you were gonna show up. Like, I put One Direction and you're like, I'm here. A Hundi. Is your headphones on? I basically was gonna talk about our conversation. Feel free to come on the Discord if you want. But like, you're like putting yourself in such a, like, in a mood. If you're down, yeah. I'm on voice too. Oh, you're on the other voice? Okay. She's on the Discord, but... Okay. Well, I can't hear you. How awkward is that? Hold on. 365年ストリックおめでとう。お、ストリックおめでとう。すごいね。ありがとうございます。It does show that you're talking. It doesn't show that you're talking on my... Oh, it does. Is it on my end, dude? That ain't right. Let me check my phone. You're in the lobby? Oh, okay, she's in the lobby. Okay, I'm gonna have Nadia chime in on it too. Hold on. I'm just gonna get Nadia to join in. Yeah, well, cause I mean Nadia wants to play Fortnite, so I might as well just, you know, put us all together. And then transfer to PlayStation. No. If I can't hear you in the chat, then they can't hear you in the chat. Hello? Oh, hold on. Let me change it here. Okay. Okay. I can hear you.
Test. Hi.
Hi. Hello.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm chilling. Just got home.
Very nice. Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, everyone. So, you know, something happened yesterday. I'm sure we all saw it on the Discord. Ren and Wins. And who else? Guys, who else is watching on stream? Like, are y'all One Direction fans? Anyone? Anyways,
I don't think we're gonna find many Wendy fans in the chat.
we're not. I mean, we're gonna. I don't know if Matt was a fan. I think Matt has a very diverse, like, genre of likings. I'm sure he was maybe a 1D fan. Nope, dude. How old are you again, Jen? Actually, won't take a minute. Anyways, so as you all, huh?
Will Nadia be joining our call?
Nadia is in our call.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Nadia.
Nadia, I'm ready, by the way.
Oh, oops.
You're 20?
You're 20?
How many times? Because I forget. Oh my, like, wow. Like, I'm not gonna remember everyone's age. I'm gonna ask you in a couple months, by the way. Dude,
A couple days.
I thought that was Mia purring. That was crazy.
Oh, I can hear it.
What's
Is
up,
that you
Brandon?
drinking 7 Leaves?
No, I'm drinking Noobs.
Oh. Well, I had 7 Leaves.
You did? What did you get?
Yeah, I saw milk tea.
You did?
I did indeed.
Girl, why is Seven Leaves? Why are all their drinks so caffeinated?
They're teas
Hello?
and coffees.
Everyone's so quiet. No, but Ding is not that caffeinated.
If
Ding
you
is
have
not nearly as caffeinated as Seven Leaves.
if you have 7 Leaves, do you feel like it wakes you up more?
Honestly,
Caffeine doesn't wake me up, like, I just feel bad.
you just feel
Oh,
bad?
you get palpitations?
Even Sada Shema was saying the same thing last time we had Seven Leaves. And she's also sensitive to caffeine. So that's what I'm saying. Seven Leaves drinks are like loaded up.
Yeah,
Well, maybe you shouldn't be having them then.
well,
What'd you say?
I said maybe you shouldn't be drinking them then.
Yeah, I drank half of mine and left it in the
so
fridge.
why did you get an Assam?
Me?
Yeah,
Because I wanted to? What do you mean?
I thought you didn't like it.
I mean, when we did the taste test, that one was I did like that one.
I know you like the Thai tea.
I actually don't like their Thai tea. I mean,
No,
it's
I was
not that
one.
it's
I
bad,
like
I
the
just
green Thai tea.
prefer-
That was me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the
I
jasmine
prefer
base.
Thai tea from other places.
What did you say?
I said I don't mind their Thai tea, but it's not my favorite.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay, so the reason why I wanted to talk about One Direction is because I wanted to tell you guys exactly, like, how it feels in our generation and how literally the For You page of our TikTok is literally everyone who basically grew up watching One Direction. I mean, like, you're 20, but, like, I really feel like you're a guy, though. I think there's a difference here. But I really would like to know how many guys are actually, like, who actually like 1D.
Also, I mean, there are a lot. I've seen a lot of responses on TikTok that are from guys. But if someone's 20, that means they were like 5 when One Direction formed.
Yeah, but like we found them out like years later though. Like they formed like what, 2011,
2010. Oh no, 2010 is when they were on X Factor. And then their single, Woman Too Beautiful, came out 2012? 2011? Hold on, let me find out. What makes
You don't know you're beautiful. Wait, did you want that?
No, you cannot.
What Makes You Beautiful came out in 2011.
I thought it came out
in 2010.
Their music video probably came out 2012.
No, the music video came out 2011. August 19, 2011.
Damn.
Yeah, and then they were on X Factor the year before. So they've existed since 2010.
So
Which
do
is
these people here,
14
by the
years
way.
ago.
Yeah. Wow, you just exploded a whole thing. Yeah, but the thing is, oh, I knocked one. The thing is, What, 2016, 20, you were 20, 5, carry the 2. Yeah, you were a teenager.
I was a teenager? Yeah, I was,
No,
16.
Ren was like barely teens. It was really sad to hear about Liam Payne. He was a good singer in the group. I like the song Story of My Life. That's a great song, dude.
You know, in the song Story of My Life, Liam Payne actually has a line where he sings, "It seems to me that when I die, these words will be written on my stone." And it's so crazy that he's the one singing that line and he was the first one to go.
And I'll be gone tonight.
And then also, I was telling Sarah this earlier, in the song Spaces,
Yeah.
he sings, "Who's gonna be the first to say goodbye?"
Dude, and you know what's so crazy?
What?
His girlfriend, when she flew back, her seat was 1D.
No, it was not. No, it was not.
No, I'm not even kidding. You can literally look at her TikTok. It says seat 1D.
Did she pick that on purpose?
Imagine.
Girl, I don't think so.
Like, she didn't know he was gonna pass away.
That's actually wild.
2016,
crazy?
2017,
Crazy.
5th grade. Honestly, there could be... I mean, being like a, being that age, like 5th grade, like little teens of 1Ds, I mean, like, I see the hype for that.
So we should get going.
Wait, but there's a thingy.
Or what?
It's like a is it above me? Oh, it was above me. What is that? Oh. I found it. It's an Avengers thingamabobber.
This tea is making me anxious.
Oh, I think I have the War Machine auto target. Okay. I'm not gonna get it. There's still a lot of chests here. Did you find a car?
Nope.
What else? Oh, yeah. Like, are you doing? How's Michael's?
Malak, you're muted.
I think right now my favorite song is
I don't know how I got muted.
I think maybe you were muted with me too. I think my favorite song right now is I don't know I forgot what it's called. You know, it goes oh 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 we fire now.
I don't care what people say.
Yeah.
Oh.
They happily.
Oh yeah, happily. Wait, can you guys hear me?
Baby.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
What behind us? What behind us? Oh, I cracked.
Happily.
Yeah, we said that, bro.
There's people over there. Come on.
Man, I'm knocking everyone down today. I'm so good. Baby, be with me so happily.
Oh, there's real people.
I'm goated! Anna goated. Also in 2016, I was 10 years old. Wow. Oh my gosh.
That's crazy. I mean, Nadia was 9.
Nadia, were you a big 1D fan?
I think
I used to listen from Malak.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Nadia and I used to have jam sessions in my room where we would just listen to One Direction and dance for hours.
Let me tell you guys a core memory that Melek and I have. It's when we first discovered One Direction. Melek, I can have you say the story honors.
The very first time?
Yeah, the very first time.
Okay, so the day I was introduced to One Direction, and I remember this very clearly, it was January 26th, 2012. Okay. We were at a mutual friend's house for a birthday party, and I think it was Lean that brought it up, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So
Lean
Liam,
always
Sarah's
has the
sister-
news, by the way. Lean
Yeah.
is the one that gave me the news about Liam, and therefore I transferred it on to you guys. Anyways, continue.
So Sarah's sister Lean mentioned One Direction, and then I was like, oh, I don't know who that is. Like, enlighten me. And we were there at a party. There was a bunch of people around, and some people knew who they were, some people didn't.
And because this family friend, like, we're very close to them, we were there for a minute. Like, we were staying for a while.
Yeah. So so yeah, Lean brings up this person or this band we don't know about. I'm like, oh, who's One Direction? So she pulls up the music video for What Makes You Beautiful, and we're sitting there all watching it together. Like literally everyone that was at this party is sitting in a circle, and we're watching the same thing on a little phone, small device. Like it's not even something we can all
Literally. Like what? iPhone Gen 2?
No, literally, I don't even remember. But she plays the music video, and of course we all immediately fall in love. Like, who's this new boy band? Like, this is
like they're
it was just a monumental moment.
Can I tell you, like, Malak, she saw Harry, immediately falls in love. Immediately.
He was always my favorite, and he still is my favorite.
No, and it's like I called Harry, you can't call Harry. Like that's how serious it was.
But what happened at the time was Ian pulled up this music video. I immediately searched them up on iTunes after we watched the video, and they had announced that they're coming out with an album later that year. And on the spot, I pre-ordered the album. I bought it, paid for it, waited for it to come out on iTunes.
Could you believe that? On iTunes.
On iTunes, way back when. And I specifically remember it was $14.99. And I had pre-ordered it, and I waited months for it to be released. And the second it popped up in my music library, I had that on repeat for God knows how long. And that was their debut album.
$14.99. Wow.
And then every November for 5 years, they dropped an album.
They did. They did. This is true.
Which is crazy because an album a year is insane.
And they recorded on the road.
Like once every 3 or 4 years.
No, and they did it.
They did record on the road. They made songs on the road. They were super busy. They were immediately
they were hard workers.
And yeah, I mean it's a tough life to be a part of, especially so young, to have to be literally working like every single day, no breaks, like round the clock, traveling the world, doing all these gigs, everything at the same time.
Yeah.
How to get in the damn car.
I'm so sorry.
But yeah, ever since then, they just took the world by storm.
Yeah, that was a great story, Malak.
And then Zayn left the band, and it was the beginning of the end. And then a few months later, they were going on a quote-unquote hiatus, and then we never heard a One Direction song again.
Yep, and we never will.
A new One Direction song. So sad.
Mysterio? I think
People, kill him.
I see him. I can't get out for some. I can't aim. Oh, I can now. Okay. I think like there were talks that they were coming back.
I mean, like when they first went on hiatus?
No, like just recently, no?
I mean, not talks that they were coming back, but like the boys had been asked about it a lot, and essentially all of their answers were never say never.
Do you, Malak, I want you to read Ren's post.
I don't know how to feel about this topic. Liam Payne is a predator who abused drugs to a teenager and forced her to get an abortion. I feel sorry for her.
Now you get in the car.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually just on the phone with Sada about an hour ago talking about that we did. There are a lot of terrible things that Liam has done in the past couple years. But I feel like we can critique the things that he did incorrectly and still be sad and mourn his loss. Because who he was before, I don't know, say 2021, was still just such an integral part of so many people's childhoods. And I literally like watched this man grow up. Like, aside from who he is now, who he was very important to me. And like, you know, I have One Direction is so associated with like such core memories in my life.
It's
Um,
true.
and yeah, there is a lot of things that he did that
Continue.
time, and it's in no way an excuse, and I know that. But at the same time, like he was very publicly struggling, and no one bat an eye, no one cared, no one offered to help. I think
Yeah.
especially because of being in One Direction, like there were so many times where because of how big they were and how much of a threat there was to their own safety, they literally had to be locked in rooms, completely like isolated overnight for years, essentially, like while they were touring. And
I
they're
already have
trapped
a
in a
purple one.
room with four other boys, with a minibar. What is a teenage boy gonna do? Like they're gonna resort to drinking, and a lot of them had alcohol issues when they were in the band.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
While
I
they were
mean,
in the band, there was like terrible.
They're coming for us.
Terrible addiction issues that they were struggling with, literally because of the isolation and the fact that there was always alcohol around them. Even before they were, I mean, I guess in the British age now, like of age, younger. But even though they were of age, like addiction was a huge problem at the time. Some of them dealt with it better than others, but Liam was particularly affected, and it's something that he still carries. I mean, carried, I guess.
I
keep
mean,
forgetting.
was it a
Mentally, he was
toxic
affected.
environment?
The thing is,
Yeah.
like, yeah, it was, but essentially because they were always isolated, literally locked in rooms on end while they were on tour because of threats to their own safety from like crazed fans.
Really?
Oh
wow.
Yeah, they would always be.
They like lacked freedom entirely, and that's like the biggest thing that
control.
that teenagers need for their
Exactly.
development.
And that's what drove a lot of them, some more than others, to alcoholism. And so he's had a lifelong struggle with drugs and alcohol, and it manifested in abuse, anger, you know, things that he's done in his past. And it's not healthy, obviously, but I think him
Nadia, I'm out.
particularly, he was more affected by it than the other boys.
Yeah,
Wow.
honestly, it just seemed like the people in his life failed him a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like,
agree.
I
He
mean, like,
obviously needed help, and of course, the first step to getting help is
good evening,
accepting
Michael.
the fact that you need help.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a bad situation for everyone in his life.
Yeah, I was talking to Layal about it earlier, and she said, I wish he had a better support system.
I mean, do you think the boys like were there for each other? No.
I mean, when they were together, yeah, but I think once they separated and had their own careers, their own lives, I mean, just because of distance and life getting in the way, I mean, I don't know how involved they were in each other's lives, but, you know, a solo career is you know, a giant feat in and of itself. I don't know if they had the time or the capacity to be there for each other like that. And that's even if that's something that Liam wanted to openly talk about, which he said in an interview that I saw recently on TikTok that he could be struggling like beyond words could describe, and he can hide it very easily. So unless he wants to talk about it, unless he's willing to accept help, he'll just push it down, which is what makes the problems worse.
Nadia, please. I'm at 1.
There's too many people here. I have to run.
You're crazy, Nadia. Nadia, please.
No, there's 3 teams surrounding us.
I think in general, like something that also contributes to these problems, which is like a widespread issue in America, is the loneliness of the people.
Yeah, and
It's so serious and so real that contributes to so many mental health issues. Like American culture in general is not very communal, is not very family oriented. It's very isolating and independent, where people feel like they have to suffer by themselves and they can't talk to anybody or they can't have a support system. And it's like one of the biggest catalysts to like mental health issues, just isolation.
yeah, and I think like I think Nadia's about to die. I think the thing is that what I didn't mention this in our conversation on our phone call, Malak, but I think the one thing that people don't understand is that like did my thing freeze? I think no, I didn't. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I think that what we also fail to not like see until it happens is that like when people are so like when people are bullying like celebrities, like how you see Milak, where like they don't see them as human, they just see them as like however it is, like objects or whatever it is how they see, is that they don't know the repercussions that they give or that they cause to those celebrities, and then which causes Liam, like as an example, for him to do all these actions for himself until something happens, and then everyone is like, "Oh my god, I can't believe like he's gone," and it's like, guys, like, what do you mean?
No, literally, the same thing happened with Joshua Bassett. Like when all the beef was going down, he literally had a heart attack. Like he actually had a heart attack. He went to the hospital. He had like a 17% chance of living or something like that. And
He said that if he hadn't gone in that moment, he would have died or something.
Yeah,
What, Malak, Nadia, what'd you say?
I was saying that with the Joshua Bassett thing, he said if he hadn't gone right when he went, he would have died.
Oh,
yeah, like he immediately went to the ER. But the same thing happened. Like it was the internet hate in those comments that affected him to a point where he had a physical reaction to it. And I was telling Sarah this when we were on the phone earlier. Like people just develop such great disconnect in these types of parasocial relationships where just like Sada said, we don't even see them as human anymore. It's like, yeah, I can be endlessly mean and relentlessly bullying to somebody online, hiding behind a computer screen, and thinking there's no repercussions to your actions. But no, words hurt, and they can affect people in ways you don't even understand. And this is a prime example of it. Like all the people that have been saying crappy things about him the past couple weeks on the internet with, you know, him, the way that he was acting at the Nile show, which I think they were overreacting.
wait, the Nile show? What did he do?
I'll get there in a second. But people were like hating on him so badly just in these last few days, and then hearing the news that just came out yesterday, I feel like this should be one of the biggest like signs that you should stop being so mean to people online, because they just feel like, oh, I'm just sending words through the endless void that is the internet, and like it's not gonna matter. But it does matter.
No, it does matter, and I think like not a lot win. Just glad to be here. How y'all doing? What's up, Michael? Yeah, dude, we're doing great. Like we're just talking about One Direction because it's like it was a big part of our lives. So
what happened at the Nile concert, which is the reason that Liam was in Argentina. He went to go visit Nile to attend one of his shows in Buenos Aires. So he and his girlfriend flew out there to support Nile, and there were videos of him interacting with fans at the show, and all of the hate / comments that were coming out about that was like, oh, he was just there to like steal the spotlight, like he was, you know, just trying to, you know, get attention and whatever. But what actually went down is when he was interacting with the fans, it was before the show. Like it wasn't like he was trying to take away from Niall's attention like while he was on stage. And the other thing too is they were comparing it to when Harry went to one of Niall's concerts recently, and he was kind of like hiding in the back, like didn't want to be seen. And it honestly just comes down to like personality and preference. Yeah. So like if Harry doesn't want to be seen, that's his prerogative. If Liam wanted to interact with fans, there's nothing wrong with that either. Like he can make a scene if he wants to. Like that's fine. People are just overreacting about it.
So people are saying that like he stole the spotlight?
Yeah. So that's what all the comments were about. Even though when he did that, it wasn't even during the show. It was like before it started.
Yeah, especially because like Liam probably sees fans the least out of the boys.
Yeah, it's true.
So I'm sure like it was just like, oh, I get to see a little bit of my fans today. Like let me just, you know, pop in, say hi. Like I'm sure he missed.
And they were
like
excited to see him. So like why not go say hi, you know?
Ren, to answer your question, yeah, we'll do suggestions. But I just wanted to talk to my friends for a little bit.
And the thing is too, like Niall was one of the last people to see him alive. Like they took a picture.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He saw Niall like a week ago.
No, literally.
Like that's crazy. I can't imagine what Niall's feeling.
I know.
People right there.
That's why I'd assume that. Are you shooting?
Sada help me! Sada help me!
I'm shooting. Oh, Nadia, another crown. There we go.
There's someone here. Hold on.
Oh, this is a gold micro SMG. If you want that.
Help me. I'm
Oh
dead. Sad I'm dead. Sad I'm dead.
It's okay. I'm gonna hide here for a little bit.
I got him low though.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna guess the Yemeni. Guess the Lebanese. Actually. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where's the thing? Okay. Oh my god. There's an ultimate chest. Dude, are they both chasing me?
Oh my gosh, this whole time I've been talking and I've been muted for some reason.
Malak, you keep muting yourself, girl.
No, I'm not even touching anything. I don't know how I got muted. I was trying to say... No, I'm not. I was trying to say that,
Like, they were both chasing me and they couldn't get me? That's so funny.
I was trying to say, I was talking about Liam specifically. Not Liam, sorry, Louis. Louis has gone through so much grief. Like, in the same year that he lost One Direction, he lost his mom and his sister. And then now he lost a brother. Like, someone needs to go check on him, make sure he's okay.
Was someone
crazy? Like,
did they out of a tragedy or like or like how did he lose his mom and sister in the same year?
I can't remember how they died, but it was like within a few months of each other.
Which is crazy.
And it was the same year that One Direction broke apart.
Yeah.
So imagine going through all of that within like one calendar year. The amount of grief. And also because Louis was very, very attached to the band. Like, he loved being a part of One Direction. It was something that he thoroughly enjoyed. Like, he never wanted it to end. And then just the fact that the one comment in his post about like Liam that he put on Instagram that really struck me is when he said, "I'm so sad I'll never be able to share a stage with you again."
Louis said that?
Like, Louis said that in his
in his post, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, dang, that's so, it's gut-wrenching.
Yeah.
And it's just so sad that, you know, all these rumors about, will they get back together? Will there be a reunion? Will there be this? Will there be that? The fact that Liam's gone means that will never happen. Like, there isn't even an inkling of hope you can hold on to anymore because they're never going to be the same now that he's gone.
I just want to let you guys know, chat, that Malak is the super fan. Like, no, I mean, in the nicest, like, of course, like in the nicest way, because like Malak like truly loved that band, and like, you know, with all our other friends, that like my sister's a huge fan. My other friend, she cried yesterday. Like, it's not the connection that, because like clearly we've never met the man, but it's just the connection that you personally made between you and like the band itself and like the music and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's like the connection to the boys, the connection to the art, the music, you know, relating to it, and even just the memories that you create with the songs and the people that are around you in your life that also share the same like music taste and love for the boys. You just create so many memories around this one entity of like the band that the loss of one of the members just feels like a loss of part of your childhood.
Yeah, and I was saying that like also the community, like the One Direction community, like they lost a family member and like gone too soon, you know. It's, you know what it is? You know what it is, guys? By the way, Michael, I gotta watch Guess the Mexican. That's fun, probably funny to watch. But
Wait, sorry, I'm gonna take a short break. I need to go pray.
Oh, you're gonna miss what I'm gonna say.
Okay, really quick, go.
Okay, what I was gonna say is that it's like losing, you know, our John from the Beatles.
Yeah, I've actually seen a lot of comments. People have been saying the same thing. It's like the loss that we're experiencing with Liam is the same way that the generations before us felt when the first Beatle died.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I'll be right back. Hold on.
Someone's coming for me.
Yeah, I see so many footsteps. I don't know where any of them are. Oh, Nadia, I'm above. You're below me? Above me? You're above me. Okay. I'm coming to you. Oh, you're still above me? Nice. Very nice. The whole community must have liked cry all the yeah, dude. Literally. Malak did. Malak went to a concert yesterday. She got in the car and started crying. Like it was unexpected, and it's like a terrible way for him to go. Like falling off the
I
staircase.
think the biggest thing was just how young he was. Like, cause everyone always just took their like, I don't know how to explain this. Like everyone just assumed that the boys would be alive until they're like 60. You know what I mean? Until like their fans are 60. But now it's so, like, it just hit everyone because they weren't expecting it to become so soon. Like, the fandom is still young, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So yeah, I know he passed away yesterday, but we were talking about Asmongold, but I kind of wanted to talk about it because it is truly
Devastating.
part of our lives. Part of our life.
Huh! Huh! Thought he's so low. He's so low, Sadek. Just shoot him. Oh, he's really low.
I kept seeing so many comments that were
30 HP.
so depressing. That were, and I know Sada, you've seen this is more for the chat, but I know people have always been talking about, will 1D get back together? Will there be a reunion? And right after he passed, people kept saying, I never thought that the One Direction reunion would be at Liam's funeral.
Which is heartbreaking.
It's so sad to think about. And then I saw
One that
another
I saw
comment.
was so sad.
Which one?
It was. It said, 4 mothers lost a son and one welcomed him.
I just said
That was so sad.
I mentioned that to Sada earlier when we were on the phone. That one.
That
killed
was
me.
so sad.
Yeah.
Poor
Now
Louis,
he's
dude.
with Louis' mom. Oh, it's crazy.
Because Louis lost his sister and his mom,
Yeah, in the same year.
and now he lost a brother, basically.
Actually, hold on. Let me look up. How did?
And he's the only. Louis' sister overdosed, if I'm not mistaken.
Die? That's what I saw, but
Oh
I
my god!
wasn't-
But it's in
I
the
wasn't
same
sure.
way. They died in the same way. No.
Oh, so his mom lost a battle with cancer, and his sister died from an overdose.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
that's what I'm
grieving
saying.
over his
sister
mom.
and Liam basically died the same way.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
I never listened
oh,
to a
by
lot
the
of
way, I
1D,
don't know
but
if-
after the news, I might listen to music tomorrow in honor. Hey, man. Yeah.
Louis.
Yeah.
Louis
What's up,
also.
Mustafa?
What's it called? What was I gonna say? He's the only son. He's the only boy in the family because he grew up without a dad.
Yeah,
And
he
so
had,
he's basically been like the
sisters, right?
backbone of his family since his mom
Yeah.
died.
Crazy.
So it's just him. And
Yeah, it really is. It was him and
They-
his
And
brothers.
the thing about Liam's death too, like the way that he died, the first few articles that came out like shortly after his passing said that
Said that what?
an accident or intentional. And
Oh.
then there was another report that came out today that said that he didn't just fall, he essentially like threw himself over the balcony. But I still don't think that it was necessarily suicide because he was so heavily under the influence. He was probably just making rash decisions without understanding the implications of what he was doing.
yeah.
So he did actually throw himself over the balcony, but I wouldn't call that suicide, you know.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that suicide either, but Allah alam. We don't know what he was thinking. He probably
I mean,
wasn't. He probably wasn't
You
thinking.
can't, yeah, you're not thinking straight when you're heavily on drugs and under the influence of alcohol.
First
Sam
of
really
all,
is a better kid.
oh Brandon, you also grew up without a dad, so it's just you and your mom. Yeah, the One Direction singer Mustafa. That One Direction singer. LOL.
What did you say about being Muslim again?
I was saying Sam really is a blessing. Like
Oh yeah.
Not being,
it saves
like,
you.
having it really does. Like having the restriction of drugs and alcohol and dating. It's like it saves us in so many ways that we don't even know. Like we have no idea who we'd be without Sam. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh no,
Yeah.
I don't know who I'd
Although
be.
unfortunately, sometimes it's not enough to deter people from straying.
It's not, because curiosity is you know, I'm not gonna like maybe shaitan, but I'm not, no, I'm not gonna like
there is always temptation, of
influence,
course.
temptation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's
Yeah,
it's
but
a
I'm just
human
saying,
nature.
like, yeah, but the fact that we've grown up knowing the true like terrible effects of it and having it be so restricted and in such a negative light, like growing up, if you were around your parents and stuff that, let's say they casually drank alcohol, you can easily slip into like, you know, underage drinking and like just so much. There's so much haram that can happen, so much harm to
Yeah,
your own body.
Nadia, there's
I had
someone.
like I had major culture shock when I was in high school, because as a freshman, like I didn't understand how easily accessible certain things were to kids that were literally like 13. One of my classmates, I won't name her, but she told me that she started drinking at
Nadia.
13.
Whoa.
I'm here, I'm here.
Like her mom would be sitting down having a casual beer
Just
or
heal me,
whatever,
just
and
heal me.
she would
He's
hand
right
her
here.
like the other half of her can if she wanted to finish it, which I know is like unfortunately more common
This
than
is
you
a
would
muzzy?
expect, but no, this is not Muslim.
Oh.
I'm saying for non-Muslims, like how casual and like unfortunately normal that is to hear.
It is. I mean, like, like a lot of families, like, when you're kids, you see adults, like, adults usually like invite other adults, and when they party or whatever, they have a casual beer or two, and the kids just play around, but the kids still see it regardless.
Yeah,
And
I mean, the person I'm talking about, her mom would literally be like casually enjoying a beer, and she would give her like the second half of the can, like she'd let her finish it
that's
to
crazy.
a 13-year-old girl. Like that's insane.
And that's so dangerous to the development of your brain.
Yeah, and it's also worse that the mom is enabling it.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like it's so common nowadays. Same with drugs. Like
Yeah, and smoking.
yeah, smoking and gummies and
Like there's so many
Edibles.
stories I've heard of people starting smoking at like 8 years old, which is insane.
Which is like nuts. I grew up drinking alcohol in church and been drinking with parents since like 13. There you go. It taught me all about self-control and now as an adult I prefer not to drink at all. That's
Yeah.
awesome, Wind.
thing
Yeah.
is like alcohol genuinely brings zero benefit to anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody.
Like it's literally poison.
Genuinely. It's literally poison. Like
Yeah.
if someone came out with a drink today and they explained to the world that it basically kills your liver, it puts you in a different state of mind, which can cause aggression and depression and sadness, and on top of everything, it tastes disgusting. Like no one would go for that.
It smells horrendous too.
Yeah.
Like give me an alcohol drink that smells amazing. No. That's fermented.
Like
It's-
the only thing that's shown benefits is wine, and wine you can barely get drunk off of. I mean, like you can get tipsy and stuff, but I just mean like actually drunk.
I mean, Arabs also, like Arab Muslims, like Mustafa here. He said I used to smoke when I was 14, but I stopped because
Yeah.
I grew up. No, you didn't stop because you grew up. That's not a good like. You stopped because like you knew it was bad
Matured.
for you. Yeah, you mature. I mean, I guess
Yeah, you
maturity.
grew up, yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's essentially what he said.
No, but I think there's more to it. Not just grew up.
And I think too
Yeah,
now
Isn't it?
it's so common for people to just resort to those things when they are having these strong emotions of like depression or anxiety and stuff because it's taught
an
that
escape.
it'll calm them down,
Yeah, it's an
Yeah,
escape.
I was
such
gonna
an
say the same
escape.
thing.
which is
People use
why
it as
I'm sure like wait, where did your mark say? Oh yeah. Which is why I'm sure Liam started drinking. Like it's just an escape to his his own mind, his own thoughts and stuff. But like
Yeah.
it's so dangerous. It's just so dangerous.
Yeah, for people who are struggling, it's like because you're inebriated when you drink, it takes away from the thoughts. It takes away from the fact that you are thinking about the struggle, but it doesn't actually change the struggle at all. You just have like this temporary release for a little bit, trying to get your mind
Yeah.
off of it by being under the influence. But it ends up making things worse. It's not.
Nadia, wrong
not a
place.
solution.
Just go to the left where the water is. Sorry, man. I can keep going.
Not gonna.
But yeah, it's really dangerous.
No, and
terrible.
the thing is, especially with celebrities, is that because a lot of, I mean, I don't know, right? I don't know who Liam's friends are, if they're honest people or whatever. But with celebrities, there's a lot of yes men, and all these yes men, like, they really
Like pressure. From
yeah,
Hollywood.
pressure. No, no pressure, but like, he'll tell them, hey, can you get this for me? Can you get this for me? Can you get this for me? And be like, yeah, like yeah, I'll get that for you, like
Yeah, I mean, with fame and money, unfortunately, you also gain power, so you can easily get people to do things for you or get things for you, and it's like, it's very dangerous.
Yeah.
yeah, just like Michael
Yeah, well,
Jackson.
keep this strong from temptation. You know, prevent us from falling into such. Oop.
I mean,
But thought a Batman is attacking.
Wait, Nadia, what'd you say?
I was just saying, may Allah keep our men strong against temptation.
Oh, I mean,
I mean,
Anjad. Over 1/3 of all car accidents are alcohol related, and at any given time on the road, you're driving about 3%. And here's the crazy part. Here's the crazy part, that most of the time the drunk drivers survive.
because they're the ones hitting the person.
Yeah.
They're not the ones experiencing the hit.
so there are other lives lost at their expense, and
Yeah. Dude, honestly, same. Like, just how drunk driving affects other people, like, smoking is the same way. Secondhand smoke is so terrible for you. And it's
Yeah.
become so normalized for people to just smoke in public. And it actually pisses me off a little bit because I would, like, never, ever, especially, like, newborns and stuff. Oh my God, if someone I know is smoking next to my newborn child, I will kick them out. Like, literally,
Like, get out.
You could
get out
literally
for
be
real. Like,
someone.
it's so
you could-
selfish.
Yeah, you could be someone who has never touched a cigarette in their life, and you could get cancer because someone around you is smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which,
like,
I mean,
it's so
alhamdulillah, none of
horrendous.
us did. I hope
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't occur later on. But like, I swear to God, you go to honestly any other country, not just like Jordan, but I'm just saying, putting Jordan as an example. You literally walk out of the plane,
And it smells immediately like cigarette smoke.
100%, and you're like, home.
Unfortunately, it's very true. Every time I smell cigarettes, I'm like, oh, this reminds me of Jordan, which is so sad to say.
No, and gas exhaust and all that stuff. Yeah.
No, literally, all the pollution out there. Dude, it's actually crazy. I went to, a few years ago, when I was in Jordan, my cousin got married, and I was at her wedding. And there were separate halls, like the women are on one side and the men are on the other side. When the doors to the men's hall opened, I'm not even joking, Sarah, there was a haze of smoke because of how many people were
You
smoking.
literally
in
couldn't
there.
see 3 feet. in front of you.
Literally every single person in that hall was smoking. At the time, Kareem was like 12 and Mahmoud was like, no, not 12. How old are you now?
No, Kadeem was
was
like
15?
16 and Mahmoud was like 12.
Yeah, something like that.
Wow.
And all the men were offering my brothers cigarettes when
Yeah?
they're literally severely underage. And of course, like sane human beings, they declined and they said no. But the men were being so aggressive and persistent. They're like, what do you mean you don't want a cigarette? Like, just take one.
Literally.
Like, they were peer pressuring them into smoking because it's so normal in the culture there. And it's like, if you're gonna smoke, whatever, I can't stop you, but don't do it in a room full of other people and then persuade a young child to take one.
It's culture.
Yeah, here's the thing. Like, I wouldn't judge someone for falling into the habit of smoking because I have no idea what brought them to that point, but I will judge someone if you are harming others in any way. Like, smoking smoking next to people and not even asking them if they are okay with it or like just any form of consent is truly so selfish of you because you are putting more than one person in harm's way. That first person being yourself. Like, that's just so that's so rude to me. Like, how are you? Ugh, so gross. It's,
Yeah,
you know,
very. No, very gross. Like, it's crazy, and like smoking is also like just gross. Like everything about it is just gross.
And vapes too, man. Vapes have been getting way too accessible lately.
And the thing is, they're marketed as a healthy alternative when they're not healthy at all.
Healthier to cigarettes. That's what
Yeah.
they're saying. But either way, still tons of chemicals and nicotine.
Vaping, I mean, like it is at to a certain extent, but like it's not something that like I'm gonna like vouch for. But like if you're gonna try to stop quitting, then you should just like start with vape and then.
No, there are alternatives. You don't need to resort to vape.
Oh, I
I mean,
mean,
if you're quitting cigarettes, yeah, vape is, I guess, a way to go, or e-cigs or nicotine patches and stuff. But I just mean like, it's become so accessible and so many new flavors are coming out, and it's so geared toward a younger audience. Like, I actually wrote an essay about this, about how vape products and advertisements have been geared towards underage smokers,
yeah, yeah.
and it's horrendous. Bro, this essay was like it was like 6 pages long, and I had to analyze a bunch of ads, and one of the ads was what's it called? What's the love thing in February? Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
You're so
Yeah.
funny for that. What's the love
Yeah,
thing?
no,
in
listen. One of them. Oh, people.
Where?
Oh my god, I'm so dead. I'm so dead.
Where are, dude? You are so.
I marked. I marked. Okay, anyways, one of the ads was geared for Valentine's Day, and um, it had a pink vape and a blue vape, and it said, "Get this for your girlfriend for
No
prom or
way.
something." It said, "Get it for prom" or something like that, like matching vapes. And I was just like, "There's no way."
That's so funny.
People in prom are 18, 3 years below the drinking age.
That's wild.
insane.
That's actually crazy.
And how long ago was this ad?
This ad was recent. It was like, I think it was 23.
Wow.
Yeah.
It is the Lunchley of the world vape. Yeah, I would say so. I say so.
Did you
Well-
kill them, stuff?
Yeah, I killed one of them. Couldn't find the other one. Clearly, you're fighting
Right here. Yeah, I knocked the shields off. There you go. Thank you, Sada.
You're welcome.
Saving my butt today.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm gonna switch it up with this.
Like Nintendo.
Uh-huh.
Like Nintendo, say you can't sleep. Baby, I know.
Before the 2000s, people would smoke on planes, and thousands of them would randomly blow up. Blow up, and people didn't know why. The culprit was the leak in the pure. Oh!
You know, didn't know that was a thing until recently. My mom was watching a movie that was set in the 90s, and people were smoking on an airplane. And then I was like, why the heck are they smoking on an airplane? Like, that's not allowed. And my mom was like, no, it used to be okay. Oh, there's no way you're in a confined space for hours and people were allowed to smoke. That's
With
ridiculous.
babies.
You know, Malak, smoking was considered healthy.
No, because people, when it first came out, it was advertised as an appetite suppressant. They would be like,
No,
oh,
no. Smoking was. But listen, part of the same essay I did, because it was about different generations of smoking ads. Originally when cigarettes first came out, they were advertised through doctors saying that it wasn't an appetite depressant. They were saying that it would help cure flu-like symptoms. It would help cure headaches.
Nadia, there's
it
people
would
over
help
there.
cure
Be careful.
respiratory issues. The biggest thing, literally, they used to advertise it as helping respiratory issues.
Yeah.
it does the
They would
There's people
say-
inside, Nadia.
They would say
Do you have any
ages 4+.
explosives?
I
And
don't.
the thing is the way that it's talked about
Perfect.
then and the way it's discussed now, because we have the science and the data to back it up. People just
It's
don't
okay.
have, we
Nadia,
don't
just
have
run.
enough data, I guess, now for people to understand how the same effects are present in vaping. And then some years later, they're going to come back and be like, oh no, vaping is bad. Everyone should stop vaping the same way we're doing now with smoking. Like, it's
Yeah,
going
they
to come
do the same
back
thing
in
with
the
e-cigarettes.
future.
Yeah.
It's going to come back in the future where people are actually going to understand the dangerous effects of what it is that they're advertising.
Well, it's because
When
we're
nobody's acknowledging it now.
it's because we're living being proofs of like the current effects. Like, for example, COVID vaccines.
Yeah.
For example, like we'll find out if there's any negative effects, and there probably are already, right? Like immune deficiency and things like that. But like,
Yeah, but at the same time, like when cigarettes were coming out, it was in the like 80s, 90s. I don't know when they started. Nadia maybe has
Ooh.
information.
No, they started earlier. I think in the 40s.
Like the same type of cigarettes that we use today.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm sure there was some form of like pipe smoking or whatever. I just mean like actual cigarettes.
Yeah. Rolled
Oh,
cigarettes.
okay. 40s. Yeah, okay. Anyway, at the time, like people could have been easily persuaded to believe one thing if that was the only news that they were fed because they didn't have technology like we do today. We live in the information age. Like there's so much data and content that is so easily accessible that it still baffles my mind how people can be influenced to believe something is one way when it's clearly not.
Yeah, it clearly no, but it's not clearly. It's clearly like, you know, like later on when we like figure out, oh, this is clearly, yeah. But as of like in the moment, we don't see it.
But nicotine is something that's been talked about for ages, whether it's in the form of a cigarette or a vape or whatever. Like it's
you-
known to have harmful effects.
Yeah.
Were you guys aware that tomatoes actually have natural forming nicotine? And a lot of the times when people quit smoking, they find themselves craving tomatoes because their body recognizes that there's some form of nicotine in there.
No
No
way.
idea.
There's a geyser
Yeah,
right here
there
now.
was actually a whole like
Would be addicted to tomatoes.
girl.
I'd rather be
yeah.
addicted to tomatoes.
Yeah, because there was
I'm going up.
I'm right here.
All right, well, hurry
There
up.
was a oh, over here.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow, you blocked me.
Sorry.
Anyways, there was a huh?
I said, what is your character?
I'm on the hill.
A superhero. There was a company that actually like it made a product based on the nicotine in tomatoes or something like that. I forgot what it was, but it was really interesting to read about. So if anyone's trying to quit smoking, tell them tomatoes is where it's at.
All right. Well, Mustafa, there you go. Ren, today I had avocado toast and just a charcuterie board. Well, no, I'm not. My own little charcuterie.
Sada always be having her charcuterie, man.
My mom packs my lunch. It's so nice. It's so nice to pack my lunch.
Yeah.
Sorry, here you go.
Anywhoosies, I was about to do something before I hopped onto this live, so I'm gonna go do that. I feel like I've said everything I wanted to say.
I know, and I wanted you to say everything you wanted to say, and I'm glad you did.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, anywhoosies, it was nice talking to you. Enjoy your battle. I don't know how to call these things in Fortnite, but whatever the term
What
is.
is that?
It's this one I love. I love the shoes. Oh, thank you, Milak. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm gonna go cry to some One Direction videos.
Okay.
Bye.
That's
Alright.
that's healthy. Oh, Milak.
I mean, listen, there's a music reactor guy that I watch, and he just posted a video on Patreon where he was watching This Is Us, like the One Direction documentary that we saw in theaters way back when.
Yeah.
So I want to watch it and just kind of reminisce with him.
Well, Mustafa asked you a question before you go.
Oh, I didn't even look at the chat. What did you say? Did you watch my strawberry matcha review? No, I did not. Was it on Discord?
I think he posted it on Discord.
Oh, well, if you bump the message, I'll go back and watch it later.
I think we're gonna do suggestions after Fortnite.
There's a car over here.
Okay, well,
All
thanks
right.
Why is it
guys.
going
Talk to
zone?
you later. Bye,
Toodaloo.
chat. Bye, Sada.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
Nadia. Although you're in the room right next to me, but bye.
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 I can't believe he went into zone. It's
I
a
think he's
Google.
getting his friend's card or something.
It's a Google Drive link, Mustafa. Mustafa, I need you to
Oh,
put it
my
as a
stomach
video.
hurts so much. Oh my god.
Why don't you just upload the video?
Tomorrow, inshallah.
Oh, so you are
So
going.
Let's get going. What'd you say?
So you are going to the concert.
I am, yeah.
So you feel good.
I mean, I don't know. Ooh, why does the train look like that?
Cause it's
I'm
scaly.
having like concert jitters, you know what I mean? Dude, this coffee's making me so anxious. Or the tea, I mean.
Oh my lord.
For the chat, I'm not allowed to have caffeine because I do not sit well with it, and I also have heart problems. And this tea, man, this tea had a lot of caffeine, unfortunately. I had half of it and I'm feeling terrible. So
7 leaves?
we'll see. Yes, 7 leaves.
I don't think this was
We can get off,
claimed.
Sada.
This wasn't claimed.
Oh,
back.
well, I got off.
Well, I'm on. Get back on.
Let's go into zone, girl.
No! No!
man.
Damn.
Also, I think this is gonna be my last game.
It's a video, guys. It's just on the go, and I made it public. Okay, we'll check it out. You said this is your last game?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Well, then we have to win.
We have to.
There's 10 people left. Completely different topic, but here's your daily reminder that you have to watch The Penguin. It's everything Echo should have been. Did I think you wrote the
Are you
review?
cold?
No. Am I cold? No, I'm wearing a jacket.
I'm really cold.
So, will your mom turn on the heater? Nadia, why are you running? Like, can you run towards zone? Yeah? You want to do that?
Well, I'm kind of on a bridge now.
Well, you can get off the bridge.
My mom is not home. She's at the movie night with Huda.
Okay, that's not what I meant. My question is, does she do heaters? Like,
Oh, yeah. My mom loves the heater, but she gets mad if it's on for more than like 10 minutes. So I might just put a hoodie on later.
yeah, the electricity bill do be going up. Actually, no, this is the gas
Maybe
bill.
don't
Oh,
Oop, car.
I see it.
Girl, how are you getting so far? I swear to God. Oh,
Oh, it's the shoes, bro.
you're going out of zone.
They be going out of zone. Where are they? Where are they?
They went to zone. I think.
No, we are in zone, dude. They're coming back. They're coming
No,
back.
I'm
for
saying
sure.
I said they went to zone.
There's someone. There's an Iron Man behind me.
Where? Oh, here.
Oh, what is that? Oh, is that gray? Okay.
Oh my God, I hate caffeine so much.
Dang, is it really affecting you that bad, huh?
Yeah, girl. Caffeine does not sit well with me, especially because I had it on an empty stomach. So
Ooh.
yeah.
Okay, we're in zone. We're in zone. 9 people left. Ooh. Some dude's on his own. That's crazy. I really hope they don't mess that up. No, I hope they don't mess it up either, dude. They be screwing up a lot these days. Alright, I see Iron Man. Wow, that's really far. Also, where's the car? Okay. I see Iron Man up there. He thinks he's slick. He thinks he's slick. Now he has to recharge. Ooh, he's cracked. He's cracked.
Sada behind us. Sada behind us. I'm dead.
Where?
I don't know. I just got absolutely lasered. Though.
No, that was the same guy.
Over there. No, it wasn't. He's in the bush over
Oh,
there.
I hit him 46. Nadia, come here. I have splashes.
Hold on, I'm taking many.
Come here.
Oh, where are you?
Oh my god. Like, what is happening?
What is going on? Sada, I'm dying.
I have no more heals. I'm out of here. I'm leaving.
That was horrendous. I hit like 7 people and then they just killed me.
And that was it.
Wow.
Okay.
Well,
I guess that's it then.
I guess that's it, man.
I guess that's it then.
Bye, chat.
Bye, Nadia. Once I leave the Discord.
Bye, Sarah
I'm gonna turn
Boodle.
off. Bye, Nadia. talk.
Bye, Nadia. Bye, Sarah.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, now we're doing suggestions. Now that Nadia's gone. Now that Nadia's out of here. Now that Nadia and Malak are gone, we can actually talk shit about them. You know what I mean? I'm kidding. I make joke. 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 Okay, so suggestions, right? Suggestions, am I right, baby? Yeah, honestly, like Daredevil was such a good show. Such a good show, and if they screw that up, it's in general okay. He did a full edit, you guys.
This is Mustafa Net, and I'm here today to try one of the drinks that my favorite streamer recommends. Here she is, by the way.
Oh wow. I'm also drinking a strawberry matcha as he's reviewing the strawberry matcha. That is really nice.
Sarah. Oh, sorry, Zara. AKA SamuLegend.
Dang. Not him pulling out my pictures from Instagram.
Strawberry matcha. Here, I'm looking at it, examining it. Okay, let's start. Okay, let's open it.
You didn't mix it.
Now the straw.
Unless he's gonna mix it.
The straw won't come out. Anyway. Let's give it a stir.
Okay, he's gonna mix it. Okay, cool.
Okay, stirring, stirring, stirring. This is awkward. Stirring. Now I'm staring. Don't stop. Okay, one more.
It's
stir.
ad time? Well, dude, now we have to wait till he comes back. I don't know if I'm gonna be watching The Penguin. I will eventually. Just like how you told me to watch The Punisher. You know how long it took you to tell me to watch The Punisher, and then I finally came around? And I'm like, oh, The Punisher was good.
This is still awkward. Okay, one more stir. And you might just feel that my face, like I'm about to laugh. I'm not. This is just how my normal face looks like. Handsome.
It
right?
looks like handsome.
Right. Anyway. Okay, looks good. And now, before anything, Bismillah.
Bismillah.
Let's try a sip. And okay, it might be one more stir.
And Blue Eyes. No, Blue Eye Samurai I watched really quickly. Maybe because it's animated.
Yeah, just let's keep stirring.
Yeah, Zalame.
Okay, looking good. A second sip. I guess from my face here, you can see that I'm kind of.
Well, you know why you're disappointed? Because, I'm sorry, Egyptians don't know how to make strawberry matcha. You gotta try it here in the States.
Disappointed because I just know that I got an expensive strawberry shake. Basically, it tastes like
That's so funny. You're like, dude, this was expensive. And she said it was good. And she lied.
normal strawberry shake, just 3 times the price. Okay, just trying to play like it's nothing. Nothing happened. Want some? Okay, at least I got these dope looking pics.
Yeah, they don't know how to make matcha. I'm so sorry. Like, والله إذا أنا فتحت محل هناك ببلد عربي, I would rock the place. Dope. Good
This is
edit,
also
man.
good.
Good edit. Okay. So like we said, we still didn't finish. Listen, Ren, can I tell you something? Can you stop suggesting 20-minute videos? That's literally more than that's like a quarter of the stream. Yeah, not a quarter of the stream. 1/4. That is a quarter, isn't it? But like if you suggest 2 20-minute videos, that's like half, almost half a stream. No, dude, that was a good video. It was funny. Your face was funny. I liked it. But we'll finish this video from yesterday.
Don't want it to.
Actually, wait. We need to finish this debate. And then we need to watch Hassan reacting to Asmongold's apology. No, it was great. It was great. The Penguin has the most compelling female villain in recent TV, and it's basically DC's Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones. Dude, so can I just skip to episode 4 then?
Did not occur at all. The idea that they were going to be dominating and barbaric and inferior in their governance, that did not happen. It's one little country of South Africa, just because it's being controlled by white people. But when black people came into power, okay, when apartheid South Africa, when the apartheid was lifted and they came into power, obviously they were still in economic apartheid, but the notion
I'm going to watch it. I'm going to finish the rest of it. We're halfway through.
Did not occur at all. The idea that they were going to be dominating and barbaric and inferior in their governance, that did not happen.
I don't see why is it so hard to just acknowledge that certain things that people do are bad? Like it's not complicated.
I'm acknowledging that religious fundamentalism is bad. I'm also telling you that it plays no role in the far greater evil, because the difference between killing 10 gay people and killing 100,000 gay people is killing 100,000 gay people is worse, right?
Well, yeah, of course.
Okay, well then that's the point. That's the point I'm making, which is that Israel is killing not only 100,000 gay people, but just every fucking straight person as well. They don't care who they're killing. And that is the reason why I don't spend a lot of time being like, well, the Palestinians have never actually shown me that they deserve emancipation, because they're not like super woke about gay people.
Yeah.
It bears no basis in this. Like, I don't care.
I don't want to see
when I analyze the situation in World War II, I don't look at like, the way that like how.
What's up, Matt?
How German Jews thought about like gay people. I don't really care.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. To me, I think that it's very easy to just acknowledge that certain things are bad. Like, for example, like if they're treating people this way, it is a bad thing, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that they should be killed for it, right? Of course not.
Yeah, and they're not being killed for it anyway. No. That's just like, that is only the justification that Israel tries to use whenever people are countering this kind of argument with like, hey man, genocide is wrong, and they'll be like, oh well, Israel would kill you if you,
agenda
would kill you if you were gay in Gaza. Which, by the way, I don't know if you've ever seen this, but there's a very famous video of a trans activist that went to Gaza and literally engaged in humanitarian aid in Gaza, and obviously they were not like, oh, you're trans, we're gonna kill you. They were like, oh, thank you for your fucking humanitarian aid. They don't give a shit. Like, it's the same as any other kind of person. I talked to a teenager from Yemen, okay, who everyone called, myself included, called Timothy Charlemagne or Chalamet.
Oh yes, yes,
is
yes.
Is that the One Piece one?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now this kid is like, I think he was like 19 at the time when I talked to him, which means that for most of his life he has withstood genocide, right?
And you know, Hassan for the past 3 hours has been one patient hell of a man. So I'm just gonna skip here. I just want to see like where they're at. 17 minutes.
And how this has nothing to do with their internal affairs or their government or how they view the world or how they view gay people at all.
I get it. I think that and I do hope that they get their independence. I think that whenever they do, they're probably going to do the same thing that Hamas did to gay people before.
No, they were not.
And
But
let's
I told you. I told you that hold on. Let's look this
Okay.
up real quick.
Go ahead.
Like if
Okay, so
that
nothing
was
happened in the
case,
past
which
17
is such
minutes.
a funny argument that we're having over like a group of individuals that are being genocided anyway. Like I don't give a fuck if they literally were straight up jailing every homosexual person in the Gaza Strip. I still think that the genocide is inappropriate and completely unjustifiable. But yes.
Well, two things can be bad, right?
What?
I mean, two things can be bad. It's not like only one thing can be bad. Like obviously it's bad to do that.
West Bank, it's been legal technically since the annexation, but since 1951, they adopted the Jordanian Penal Code of 1951 in the West Bank. Shortly after the Jordanian annexation of the West Bank in 1950, same-sex acts were decriminalized across the territory with the adoption of the Jordanian Penal Code. So it's been decriminalized in in the West Bank. And
Let me see if
before
I can
then,
find it.
what?
Oh, go ahead.
And before then, it was it was first the Ottoman law, which was decriminalized in the 18th.
Okay.
Legal in the West Bank.
Skipping ahead.
Now, notice how, once again, they are prosecuting people who are killing gay people.
Well, yeah.
Why would they do that if they were also invested in killing gay people? It happens. There are still gay people who get assassinated, murdered in the United States of America. They are dealt with through a criminal code. They are dealt with through a civil governance, right? They're dealt with within the confines of our court structure. They're prosecuted. They're thrown in jail sometimes. Other times, we still have gay panic laws, despite the fact that we are supposed to be this superior culture.
Literally.
People do still get away with killing gay people in the United States of America, as I was showing you earlier, in at least how many states? The so-called gay panic defenses are legal strategies which, according to the American Bar
I feel
Association,
like it obviously it can't be that good if people are leaving and they're looking for asylum in Israel either. I feel like to say that like they're not doing anything about it, people wouldn't be going and getting asylum in Israel. It says right there in the same paragraph that this time it was reported 90 Palestinians who identified the LGBT lived in asylum as asylum seekers in Israel. Why would they be doing that if they're being treated equally? They wouldn't need to.
First, why are they? I have a couple different reasons for why they're doing that. Do you feel like if you had the opportunity to not be under colonial rule, you'd rather go to Israel? Israel is not exactly a tolerant society for LGBTQ either, by the way. You can't get gay married in Israel. It's still illegal to get gay married in Israel to this day. Why were they going there? Because the material conditions are obviously better there inside of Israel. If you are a part of a regular Israeli society, if you are able to seek asylum, Israel can then turn around and use that as a brownie point for themselves, or half the time.
Yeah, he's pissed because he keeps going back to the same point and cannot understand the greater picture.
To their collaboration.
But he's keeping his cool.
They wouldn't need to be getting blackmailed if the outcome of the blackmail
it's not just blackmail as in like we're going to out you as a homosexual. It's blackmail as in we're going to show like your naked photos to your family. It's not blackmail like, oh, your friends are going to know you're gay and then they're going to kill you. No, it's blackmail as in we are going to show naked photos of you to everyone. Now you have to collaborate with us. Revenge porn.
The logic there. Like, okay, so I get what you're saying, but like, how does that make sense if it's only being applied to gay people? It's like, wouldn't
no,
everybody
it's not just
have
gay
naked
people,
photos?
but gay people are an easier target because they still obviously are, regardless of the legal status of regardless of the legal status of like gay people, there's still cultural stigma.
Okay.
Cultures are by and large more tolerant of trans people. Remember what I mentioned about Iran, for example? Like even in Iran, you can get gender affirming care. As of 2008, gender affirming care in Palestine is legal. In 2008, Palestine adopted the ICD-10 classification, which contains code.
What is the end? Like, what does he like conclude? $3 hours of this thing.
or anything like that. And we are all, again, we are all products of our own material conditions and our circumstances.
I certainly hope that I hope that they're able to make things better. I do.
One day.
One day, sure.
One day they
maybe
can. One day they can also argue amongst themselves about, you know, whatever game developer is making
it's Ubisoft,
gay people
with the gay black samurai.
Yeah, Ubisoft Palestine. A lot of Palestinians are going to be up in arms.
Right. Okay.
All right.
Well,
thank you, Asmongold.
No, for sure. And I can see your point of view. I hope that you can see my point of view to an extent. You don't have to agree with me, but I think that my perspective here is not totally crazy, and I can see where you're coming from too.
No, it's crazy.
For sure.
All right.
I don't think that you're like okay with it, and you know, etc.
All right. Well, you know, I would also, like I said, talk to. You have friends out there that that have similar opinions to mine. You have friends out there that are of Palestinian descent or Muslims as well that you can talk to about this kind of thing. And I hope that they can, you know, give you personal anecdotes that are a little bit better than what I can explain to you through historical relevance.
Oh, I get it. Yeah. And I probably will. You know what? I probably will. I find this stuff interesting. I like talking about it. I know a lot of people like to turn things into hostility. I enjoy conversations like this. I think that you do too. That's probably why we've been doing it for like, I don't even fucking know how long. So I have no problem discussing it and talking about it and debating about it all day. It's no problem.
Okay. All right. Well, have a good one.
You too, man. I'll see you later.
All right. Bye.
Okay. And then this one. We're gonna come back to this
because I do think that
we're not gonna watch the full hour of this, but I just want to see like what his apology
genuinely
is.
When you are honest with yourself and when you actually go with like savage apes that are constantly looking to like rape not
okay, it's people that were Islamic and people that were family in Palestine, and how humiliating is that? How absolutely humiliating is that? And these were the people I was trying to say were bad, and I feel like such a stupid act. I really do. I've always been a you know, I guess like I've always been kind of like an atheist, and even as a young kid.
Okay.
Let's watch Asmongold, my plans moving forward.
Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you all about what my
okay.
Most mean-spirited.
So if you guys didn't watch the apology of Asmongold, he basically like did a complete 180. Complete 180. He told himself that he messed up. He told his audience that he messed up, that he, you know, at one point, like, you know, apologizes for saying these mean things about us. And I'm gonna say us. He's gonna pull the card. And he's gonna change for the better.
Just, I don't really even know what the word is for it. Just like the most mean-spirited, rude, like nasty, like just callous, psychopathic version of myself. I think that I've been devolving into this. And a lot of my
sorry, that's like the funniest thing to say with like
bad.
that.
I mean,
well, no,
good
just like no, but it's so
self-awareness.
funny to say that like in that room.
I know, but it's a decent amount of self-awareness. I think
friends
I like
told
it.
me this.
I don't disagree with
maybe
the
just
sentiment. It's just the comedy of it is like
I know
a little
my
much.
tolerance for seeing this
it's like
is so much worse than yours.
I want to like look past it, but I kind of can't.
My dad has told me this. He said, you've got to chill out. You've got to calm down. I've been like, oh, that old man doesn't know what he's talking about. And I've finally had some...
Oh, Asmon's dad is a fan of mine, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't believe it. I called and I heard some voice in the background. I assumed my dad was watching my stream. He was watching his son. He was watching his son.
And apparently they like duke it out all the time on politics. So that's like an interesting dynamic.
Accountability for that.
Rock on.
And thank God. I look back.
Also, I'm sorry. This is Space Ace is correct. This is exactly how Karl Marx lived. We know this because there are a couple really big
spying
agencies were in utter shock at the filth that he lived in.
The thing to remember is that like one, it was the 1800s.
Okay.
Like pasteurization.
We
was
don't
like,
care.
Goes out on the town.
At some of the things that I've said and done over the past 2 years, and I don't think that I've been wrong about everything, obviously, right? But there have been ways that I've communicated and ways that I've acted that are indefensible. And I think looking back on it, it's just disgusting. And it's something that when you get lost in the sauce and you get fixated around like listening and reading feedback and, you know, just getting hyper fixated, this is like your entire life, you lose a perspective on reality and you lose a perspective on the world. And I think that perspective was brought into perspective yesterday and the day before when I was making comments like this, and I feel so stupid. It's crazy. So I'm getting all these people making negative comments toward me. Everybody is telling me like, oh, go kill yourself. I hate you. Everything like this.
Not this guy's sweat stain. Like God knows how hot it is in this room.
Yeah. When was it when Lil Bear, you gotta find this clip. The first time I said Asmon's not gonna like doing political commentary streaming, because it wasn't the first time I ever said it was during the Johnny Depp stuff, but that wasn't when he fully became a political commentary streamer. He started doing political commentary streaming this past year, and I said he is not going to enjoy this at all. You have to have either full-blown sociopathic tendencies or at least like genuinely believe the cause that you are advocating for to stick it out for this long, or just have like nothing else going on. And for Asmongold, he has something else going on. Like he could just play WoW and just I don't know, play video games.
Oh my God. This is the acronym for WoW. That is so funny.
And talk about like some of the cultural stuff in video games from a right-wing culture war perspective. But like the moment that he starts leaning in to like straightforward political commentary, watching like a RFK speech or something and calling him based or whatever, that's when you have fully dropped yourself into a treacherous space, a very awful space. He likes it. You are wrong. I feel like he's literally saying I've become a psychopathic version of myself that I do not like for the past 4 minutes. I feel maybe I'm wrong, but you know, overall, I always look at a situation like this and think to myself, like, what do you stand to gain from apologizing versus especially if you have such a primed right-wing audience.
Oh my God.
You don't stand to gain anything from apologizing, really. You stand to gain, you stand to benefit from doubling down and just like making,
especially in today's environment, double down, ignore, move on, switch to the next thing. Every incentive is there. I mean, it's, if anything, it's okay.
Let's continue.
Do you know who reached out to me? And they wanted to talk and have a conversation and see if I was okay. It's people that were Islamic and people that were family in Palestine. And
Islamic is like a funny thing because it's like I can't say, hi, I'm Sarah, I'm Islamic. No. I'm Muslim that practices Islam. Islamic is like Islamic teachings, Islamic values, but like it's not a noun. It's an adjective.
How humiliating is that? How absolutely humiliating is that? And these were the people I was trying to say were bad. And
yep,
I feel like such a stupid asshole.
Yep.
I really do.
Yep.
I've always been a, I guess like I've always been kind of like an atheist. And even as a young kid, I was raised Roman Catholic and I was always very defiant towards it. And I've always
when he said Islamic, he's not saying like he's trying. He means well.
Said a negative
he's
opinion
trying to be
of
fucking weird.
And I've
and
also had a negative opinion of religious cultures. And I think that really I think that opinion is definitely shaped by the media that I've created, and the media I've created.
Yeah, but like he said, he means well. He doesn't know the terms.
Myself, and then also just the media that exists, the media that I've chose to seek out as well. And I think that media has allowed me to have certain predispositions and certain biases that the truth is that don't have any sort of relation to what my own real life has been experienced, or my own real life experience has been, excuse me. And so I've been spending a lot of time talking to those people, and I've seen people like fans of mine, like I had viewers messaging me on Discord, like, you know, why are you saying this? Like, do you want to talk? Do you want to, like, you know, I'm willing to talk to you, and like, you know, like let's try to work this out, right? We love you. And I scrolled up on their messages, and these are people that messaged me in like 2016, 2017, 2018, like, I love your content, I love your stream, I love you, right? And now they get to hear
and
this.
that's what I'm saying, right? Like he's, by the way, you guys, like this guy, I looked up his age. Just throw me a guess. Don't look it up. Throw me a guess, unless you already did, of how old Asmongold is. Throw me a guess, please. Because this man is the result of what American media did to him. No, not 30. Nope, not 38. Nope, not 32. Very close, though. Very close. 35. Ooh, you're hot. You're hot. He's 34. He's 34. Look at this comment. Islam is the fastest growing religion in the world. No doubt about it. Today I actually got some mean comments that I'd like to show you. My friend, she posted, not ignorant, just exposed, wrongly exposed, right? He grew up in America. Okay. I also grew up in America, but if you're not multicultural and you are not exposed to different kinds of media, like for me, I grew up watching the American news and also the Arabic news. I know what's happening on this side of the world, and I know what's happening in America, because I grew up with two cultures, and my point of view was definitely different than the average American kid growing up in the States. There is no age, of course. And people, like, when they have the critical thinking of saying, maybe maybe I shouldn't have this much hate of this one culture. Like, why do I only see one side? You know, growing up, like, you know, even when I was a kid, I was so scared. And there's memories locked in my mind, you guys, growing up, and Mustafa can probably feel the same way, of just seeing so much destruction in Palestine. Even as a kid, they've been destroying anything and everything. Like, I was scared sometimes that, like, to go to Jordan, like, and just to see, like, Palestine on the other side. You know? Like sometimes you can get so close that you might hear gunshots. Like, you don't even know. But I never did. Just so you know. But it's just like the thought as a kid. And it's scary. Like, imagine seeing this on YouTube. Like there's this scene about this father who protected his son, who was hiding behind something, behind a piece of object, protecting his son. And they just, you know, like, and they didn't have any weapons. They didn't have anything to defend themselves. But the Zios, the IDFs, they're like, ooh, bah. That is all certain way of increasingly harder to break off. It is. It is. So, him growing up, I mean, not him growing up, him seeing a different perspective because of Hassan, because of the backlash of social media, he got slapped in the face of being banned by Twitch. Good on Twitch. Good on Twitch.
And I just feel like such a stupid, belligerent fucking asshole. I really do. And I'm sorry. I really am. I think that it's extremely fair to criticize religious extremism. And I think that it's extremely unfair to categorize everybody in part of that group as religious extremists.
There you go.
I think it is. And I'm really sorry for that. I've just been a dick. And it's weird because yesterday I woke up and I didn't know if I was going to get suspended or not, and I had planned on streaming
heartfelt
and
apology.
And,
I mean, he's doing that thing
text.
where he's slicing it so that it's about the religious extremist or not. But like he talked about like fans messaging him, people who had been streamers, people watching his stream for like 8 years ago, who are now like, why would you say this? Why would you do that, etc. And I mean, it's I'm
Exactly.
like I said, I'm curious to see where he goes.
I'm not surprised by this, but I wonder if, like, for the uninitiated, they might be surprised by it. But also beyond that, I do think that there will be still a ton of people who will, of course, understandably say, oh, he's doing this to save face, or understandably say, oh, he's just like, he's not being sincere, or understandably say, I still don't accept it because what he said was unconscionable. I've seen, like, children in plastic bags, like their destroyed bodies, their mutilated bodies being shoved into plastic bags with their parents. Like, when you see that every fucking day for the past 12 months, like, it changes your perception a little bit when you hear someone reiterate the same exact indifference that people have to that kind of death and destruction, or even, dare I say, champion it. It's gonna happen no matter what. The problem that a lot of people, I think, don't recognize, like when people that do commentary or people that are influencers don't understand, is that, like, that's gonna happen. You just have to stay true to your perspective regardless. You have to be unshakable and unflinching in your framework. If you think that you fucked up, it's always good to try to understand and empathize with why people are yelling at you in that moment, and maybe try to figure out, like, what you may have done wrong. And I think he's doing that here, so we'll see. Once again, only time will tell. Only time will tell.
Yep.
But this is it's interesting because, like, his audience has he's the iDubbbz phenomena here. Like, when iDubbbz came out and apologized, that was, like, very heartfelt. Took years for him to get to this point, but ultimately, I think his
I agree.
I
agree with you too. When
they will not.
Is his audience that right wing now?
What?
Is, like, his audience that right wing now? Because I just
dude,
know
his subreddit is so bad, bro. His subreddit, like, there are just, like, straight up 4chan, 8chan takes in there, like, in mainlining it.
You know what I blame? I blame Blizzard. They need more content. Get this man back to wowing.
Yeah, that's what they. This is Blizzard's fault.
I don't know,
Let's continue.
8chan.
This is going to be kind of the second part, by the way, of the video. Comments that I made were pretty much about religious extremism. I think it's bad, but I've categorized a lot of people in that way that was unfair. It's wrong for me to have done that. I said something that was bad. I should not have said that. I should have chosen my words more carefully.
This is amazing self-reflection, by the way. Like, out of all the apology videos, like, and this is what I wanted to break down. I'll talk about it with you guys, but I am gonna make it as a video, and I probably should make it before it dies down. But being here, ignorant, and then opening up, like being open to other people's, like, perspective, and having people's opinions, like, filter through his mind, is very big. Very big. Because this guy was here. This guy was, like, here. Right? And then when I think the only other, like, thank God, like, Hassan is, like, one of those political commentators that also had two different perspectives of life as an American and as a Turkish man. So he had, like, a huge filter. But for him to be vulnerable and to talk about, like, yo, I effed up. This is my plans moving forward. I'm being more empathetic. Like, that is huge. Like, that is huge. Not with a guy with a platform, but in general. Like this guy's a definition of I grew up in white America, Texas. I didn't anything about Palestine until you talked about it on stream last October, and I've been quickly radicalized in the last few months. So I guess that's what I owe to you. Thanks for giving me a new perspective. That was so cute. Thank you for asking questions. Thank you for being open to new perspectives. And thank you for being you. Really. That was really nice of you. Thank you for saying that. Dr. Disrespect did not really barely gave... Like, this is probably one of the best I effed up apology I will change video I have seen throughout probably like the last 2 years.
I didn't do that. I doubled down on it. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry. That's pretty much... I was a fucking asshole. I was a piece of shit. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. And so, actually, I do know what else to say. I don't like making apologies because I think words don't matter. But I do think changed actions and changed behaviors do.
And this is where he's going with.
You can take my apology as hopefully better content. And if you're not seeing that,
I'm going to show you.
Hopefully this time I won't be stupid enough to ignore it.
So this is his...
Is that water?
No, it's pretty dry.
So, man.
No,
Anyway,
it's
that
probably
was
not.
like the worst. That was like... You remember the Marco Rubio water? Do you remember that? He like he delivered the response to the State of the Union. He's like in the middle of, he's like delivering his, like just in the middle, like, and everybody was, because this was
my man was thirsty.
Because this was like a more
Anyways, this is him moving forward. I'm gonna show you the mean comments that I got. So one of my good friends, Matt, I think she came up on your For You at one point, which is very funny. Or Michael. Do you know Lorena Parkour? She's a Dominican athlete who basically dresses up as Dora for a cosplay. I don't know if any of yours came on the For You. It should have. It probably should have. First I want to hear your answer. Did any of you guys have that or come up on your For You for cosplaying Dora or Wednesday or Starfire or Raven? Mostly Dora. They're gonna roast the fuck out of him for drinking water. Yeah, it's just funny. No, Mustafa, no, it's not definitely not on your For You. Cause she's Latina, so I would just think that it would probably sometimes show up. I get these guys gotta get views and whatnot, but they're really not being respectful of this guy's attempt to apologize. No, I think they are. Yeah, she's my friend. She's actually one of my good friends. She has not. What do you mean, guys? No, I think they're giving him a fair share. Let me show you who she is. Man, when the computer is so white and bright. Damn. Dora. Dora, 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 the Explorer. You guys don't think so? Yes. I have a good circle of friends. Surprisingly. Sorpresa! Alright, let me show you. You guys don't know this girl? Dora? Nobody knows Dora? Anyways. Yes, well. Oh my gosh, she got a plaque? So cute! Dang. Good for her. Okay. Well, she's cute. She is cute. She is a cutie patootie. Yes. Yes. She's great. There are a couple times. There were times back in the day where we trained. But she's only been posting cosplays for now. But let's see if we can find like a training session with her. It's been a while. But she's been doing Dora for like almost a year. And what's this character's name from Demon Slayer? Yeah, it's been a while since we trained together. Oh, we also did Korra. Oh, here we go. This is a good one. I remember training with this girl.
Go ahead, it's your time, baby. It's your time, baby. Get my baby. That's the difference when you're my baby. That's how it is when you. Nobody make me stop the world. Just get in the.
Yeah. Dude, please, 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 please. Oh, dude, yeah, the buff Dora guy. Dude, I met him. He's an interesting one. Let me tell you. Oh, this was a good one too. She always loves training here.
Much better. Oh shit.
Ooh. Anyways, this is what she posted. Oh, and by the way, she was always like this. Oh, this one too. No, we train a lot, dude. She's dope. This is 2022. This spot's awesome. Yo, that's a really cool costume.
What costume?
Means to. Oh, okay.
I'm the Avatar, and you gotta deal with it.
Okay. Okay. Anyways, this was the message that she sent out. Very parkour friendly area. Probably one of my favorite spots, actually. So, recently she posted this. And before we all read, we're not going to read the whole thing. It's 16 slides long. But she was very, very brave. Very brave of posting this. She reached to 1.4 million followers. What a G she is. And she basically posted like, hey, like, I don't like what I'm seeing. This is my opinion about it. This is my opinion who I think I should be voting for. This is why you guys should be open-minded. This is why you guys should blah, 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 blah. Right? If you guys want to look her up, you guys can read the whole thing. I'm not going to read the whole through it. And I gave her... Oh my god, I'm first? That's awesome. That's funny. I gave her like a comment. Basically saying like, yo, big ups for using your platform. Speaking about the watermelon. And, you know, way more braver than other people in the community, right? And then this is where the attack comes in, right? I'm like, big respect. Of course, this guy sees who I am. Literally criticizes me from the very beginning. We don't care what you have to say. You follow a false prophet who, raped little girls, oppresses women, throws gays off buildings, marries off 5-year-olds to marriage, and wants you to all non-believers. You follow that due to lack of critical thinking skills, How do you expect us to take anything you say seriously? I spoke in mute. Sorry. I was saying that he immediately focused on religion and did not even associate with what's happening in Palestine and immediately just attacked me and what I am. But pop off. Yes. So here I am, like, this is my response to him. Well, for one thing, everything you said is false and have a lack of knowledge of what Islam is all about. And your approach came as an attack. So I don't think you really want to have a conversation with me because you're coming in with hate when I have done nothing to you. Also, this is about people being wiped out of existence, which also includes Christians who live in Palestine. So I don't know why you're coming in with so much negativity to start with. Just points, right? Like I'm speaking with so much critical thinking and I'm not speaking with emotion, I'm speaking with logic. And then he comes in with your entire culture and religion is based off of hate. How do I know? I've read the Quran while fighting y'all in the Middle East. Huh? Like this is the crazy part. Like, he's read the Quran while fighting us in the Middle East. Okay? I've seen a boy be used as a suicide bomber, a woman get run over by a truck because she showed her ankle, and a man, blah, 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 with a donkey. The fuck, dude? You cover up because men can't control themselves. Well, that's true. Clearly you can't control yourself. It is about modesty, and it is for God. So I said, so you're a veteran. Well, thank you for serving. But see, at the time, you already came into the Middle East with the mindset of taking them down, when you probably had no intention of understanding what Islam is all about and just took things out of context from the Quran, like your previous two comments. And what many people do as well. Islam is the fastest growing religion in the world. And while you're talking to me with anger, I'm talking to you with respect, which is what Islam taught me. And that just shows what kind of a person I am and what kind of a person you are. I don't know. I don't think he's going to reply to that. He has nothing to reply to about. He has nothing to reply to. This closes the conversation. Because, again, I'm not... Oh, by the way, he liked his own comment. Like, who likes their own comment? Like, as if I'm not going to see, like, who liked it. Like, and this guy, what is a watermelon? Dude, like, so many people are saying about watermelons. Like, it's not that difficult. Like, I feel like some people who've seen this for the first time, it's so crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, that was the attack that I got. But like, again, like, those people are just so ignorant. Like, they're not attacking me. They just have a lack of knowledge and they just look so dumb. So dumb. That they, like, it's so crazy. Okay, let's move on here. Let's move on. So we did that. We did that. You wanted me to do that. Okay. So we have one more video to watch. Oh, and then... Dang. Okay, Wind. Listen. First thing tomorrow, we're going to watch Guess the Lebanese. That's what we're going to... So... Some psychos join the military because that's the only way to legally murder people, and they live among us, which is terrifying. It's true, but like at least they're not with like. Okay, you know what? That's not even a good fact. Like it's true, actually. Yeah, it's true. They also just have nowhere to go. Unfortunately, like. They don't have enough funds to give themselves an education. Like, there's a whole lot of reasons why people join the military. You said some psychos, which is fine. But, I mean, like, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys, because I'm not sure. Matt didn't watch your vid. Tell him to watch your vid. Correct me if I'm wrong, my fellow Americans, because I don't know this fact or not. Do they check your mental state of being before coming into the military? Wind, Michael, Matt, do you guys know this fact or not? Can we get? I mean, anyone else for anyone else that's watching? Maybe just give me like a yes or no, or I don't know. All right. So we have one more video to watch. Let's see. Let's see. I would like to hope they do too. Because we know that we have to keep in mind with veterans who have served in the Middle East, they experience fighters indoctrinated into extremist. It's not the one. Yes, 100%. Unjustified killing civilians, including their fellow Muslims. They traffic women and children. Yep. And they force their own twisted. Yep. This is true. I love Matt, like, just bringing that in there. 100%. But also, it's like, that's just, like, that's the exposure that they're given. I'm not sure, but I know for pilot medicals, which are very thorough, do not. And every year there are many plane crashes due to the undiagnosed psychological issues. For general military, I believe there is some level of psych evaluation. Yeah, I guess to a certain extent. But yeah, no, but Matt, you give a very, very, very good point, because again, like, what the Islam that they're exposed to is not Islam. In every religion, right? In every, like, I don't want to say like approved religion, but like religions that's been there for hundreds of years, not like the new religions that people make up. They all have a foundation, and most of them is like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, talks about balance. And, you know, life balance, and just being at peace with yourself. Like, most of the religions, like the big guy religions, talk about that. And it's, anything extremist is bad. Like, anything. Anyways, we have this video. We got about 13 minutes left.
The mythology of uncertainty is one of the core
I'm gonna skip
when the time's right.
10 minutes of it.
Murder innocent civilians? Fuck yeah.
But this talks about the Call of Duty and the imperialist propaganda, which is what we were watching yesterday. Because we still have this video to look at, which I'm also probably going to be skipping around. But yeah. What you said about soldiers killing civilians, the fighting in Iraq and Afghanistan war marked by the advent of civilians being used or volunteering to fight is non-traditional combat. Wait, can you reiterate that?
Yeah, brother. The irony in that single line of dialogue has to be some sort of record. In fact, it could.
Let me hear the irony here.
I know we're gonna burn it down when we get there.
When the time's right, Corporal. When the time's right.
Murder innocent civilians? Fuck yeah, brother. The irony in that single line of dialogue has to be some sort of record. In fact, it could probably sum up my entire video.
Shepard will be a hero, because all you need to change the world is one good lie and a river of blood.
Not soon enough, man. I know we're gonna burn it down when we get there.
Do you see how these two ideologies are in direct conflict with one another? The irony is that modern warfare cannot see the truth of these statements when it comes to their own country's actions. So close, yet so far.
Crazy.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare? No, Modern Warfare. No, The Modern Warfare reboot has its fair share of problems too. For the sake of time, I'll focus on one mission that has already got headlines, the Highway of Death. By the way, if you want to watch a longer video on the Modern Warfare reboot, check out Jacob Geller's video on it. I'll link it in the description.
Alright,
so the
Mustafa,
Highway
thanks
of
for
Death
coming.
is a real event that occurred in Kuwait and Iraq, where the US Army bombed a retreating army alongside dozens of innocent civilians. But that's not how Call of Duty...
Hello? Literally what you said. It's easy to say a civilian was murdered and ignore that said civilian had a bomb vest under his clothes. And it can also be said that there are many civilians killed out of fear and paranoia. What's up, Muhammad? Hala hala. Well, most civilian deaths in Iraq and Afghanistan comes from the presence of extremist terrorists, and the civilians who both joined them were forced to help them. Yeah.
describes it. In Modern Warfare, the attack was by the Russians.
The Highway of Death. The Russians bombed it during the invasion, killing the people trying to escape.
Interesting.
The game even goes as far as advocating for waterboarding and torture. Call of Duty can't truly explore themes of interventionism, torture, or the war on terror, because that would inspire introspection and critical thinking. It has to be simple, shallow, and romanticizing. Interventionism saves lives, torture gets results, and the threat of global terrorism is undeniable. The series' misrepresentation of history is more or less taken at face value, as players and reviewers alike trust the game's push for authenticity.
It immerses you and captivates you from start to finish, and the historical context of these events gives it such
Oh my God,
impact
that Kennedy?
because this stuff actually happened.
Let's not forget the Black Ops series, where in the first game, you're tasked with murdering Fidel Castro during the Bay of Pigs, a CIA-backed coup. And now, Call of Duty is tackling the Cold War in a game that seems to be uniquely shameless in its jingoism and propaganda. I don't know about you, but this trailer makes me want to overthrow a democratically elected leader in South America and replace him with an authoritarian who's more favorable to corporations.
Well, I can change that in a hurry.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, wow. What did I miss here?
Though AAA developers will claim it is merely for authenticity, this is obviously a huge conflict of interest, and I think it's fair to assume that it's led to some favorable framing, to say the least.
What would you tell your recruiter right now? Fucking die. What would you tell your recruiter right now?
Yeah, I don't even remember that. Why didn't you tell me to replay?
What would you tell your recruiter right now?
Eat shit and die, you fat bitch.
What would you tell your recruiter right now?
Fuck you and the unit.
What would you tell your recruiter right now?
Bitch, kill yourself.
This past summer, the U.S.
That's so funny. So back what Ren said about the guy being a veteran who killed civilians, that's not a simple thing to say, because again, the fighting that guy saw can simply be broken down to us killing civilians, not U.S. Dude.
Army, Navy, and Air Force each started Twitch channels, where dedicated esports teams stream Call of Duty, Rocket League, and other shooters, and target young kids as young as 13.
Wow.
Into joining the military without any sort of supervision or permission. Viewers are shown they could win an elite Xbox Series 2 controller if they enter a giveaway. The link sends them to a recruiting form with no additional mention of a contest, odds, or when a drawing will occur.
That is so crazy. This is so crazy.
So, using a game that glorifies and sometimes flat out lies about the US's role in the global political landscape, the US military is recruiting kids online. This sort of predatory recruiting isn't new, with
Oh, the United States. Okay, then let me reread it. Okay. Oh, so back when we were sent, being a veteran who killed civilians, that's not a simple thing to say, because again, the fighting that guy cannot be simply broken down to the U.S. kills civilians. Okay.
Recruiters often targeting those who are looking for an education, citizenship, or a steady income. But rather than being at your school, these recruitment practices are now able to reach young kids online.
Which is not.
Call of Duty isn't apolitical or just a fictional game. Its perspective on American war and foreign policy echoes attitudes that justify war crimes and occupation of foreign countries, obfuscating facts with fiction. The reality is these games are a large piece in a pipeline of endless war, and to say that they undermine a
why? Because what like it was a negative effect.
Atrocities that the US committed overseas would be an understatement.
Documented civilian deaths from violence, total violent deaths including combatants.
Well, what point of view would you expect to come out of this? I mean, without any further assumptions, what you'd predict is that what comes out is a picture of the world, a perception of the world that satisfies the needs and the interests and the perceptions of the sellers, the buyers, and the product.
So when it comes to the question as to if Call of Duty games are propaganda, the answer is unequivocally yes.
And that's that. That's a good video then. By the way. Okay. Another 20 minutes? No, I know. This one's blocked into chapters. Hello, Sam. Content warning. Sponsor video. How Call of Duty turned war into a circus. Alright, let's see.
And closer to the heroes. What a horrible thing to have seen. What a horrible
Dude, Forrest Gump.
thing to have lived through. Spielberg's unflinching approach was meant to be confrontational. He's called Saving Private Ryan an anti-war film.
What can we use from those experiences to let the audience know how tough that was and how tough war is, not just the War of Omaha Beach, but all wars.
Pretty much, Rock was supposed to make a share videos intended to encourage people to join the army. He didn't make as many videos as he was contracted to, and somehow the army lost money. So, like, basically, The Rock broke his contract. How much money did they give The Rock? That is so funny. That's actually so funny.
And in that sense, I really wanted to make an anti-war film. And you really can't do that by pulling punches.
The choppy handheld camera work was meant to shatter the comfortable barrier of the silver screen. Blood and guts and mutilated bodies are his tools for conveying that this Private Jackson, using his virtuosic rifle skills to drop Nazi after Nazi while reciting Bible passages, pushes you to the edge of your seat.
Which is nuts.
And this part always gives me goosebumps. And have an awestruck protagonist gaze at the devastation. And Spielberg didn't hesitate to surf his own wave. He launched Band of Brothers, a prestige World War II miniseries on HBO. And, motivated in part by his son's love for GoldenEye, he outlined the story for a World War II-themed video game. Not Call of Duty. We're getting there.
That's funny.
Saving Private Ryan combo of accessible entertainment and reverent historical accuracy. So that's where Spielberg's Medal of Honor.
It's hilarious that the developers of Modern Warfare 19 said it was inspired by movies like Sicario and Zero Dark because they are literally the opposite to the shameful propaganda they made. Those movies acknowledge how shady dude, like, it's so crazy when one starts. It's like opening a can of worms, man. It's like, in the beginning, you are given this, right? The cover of the book. And then you're like, oh, well, this cover looks like this cover makes sense. Like, I get it. And then you proceed to like open the first page and then the second page and then the third page, and the page just keeps going and like it's never ending, and you just keep uncovering like a whole bunch of shit that things have been hiding. But like, some people just stay here. They stay at the cover. And they don't look past it. They don't even turn to the cover. They just, this is what they're giving you. This is what you're going to keep looking at. No. You don't have to open the book. No. Just stay on the cover. Just stay there.
Honor comes in. Spielberg tapped his Saving Private Ryan military advisor, Captain Dale Dye, who was initially concerned the game would be an exploitative, tone-deaf, irresponsible thing. DreamWorks Interactive reined it in, and the game's tone and presentation were a lot gentler than the film that preceded it. The first 2 installments of the series cast you as an OSS operative sabotaging Nazi honor killer, Call of Duty. The campaign was more bombastic and polished than Medal of Honor, and the multiplayer was pretty fun.
Wow.
The new franchise eventually...
Wow. 9/11.
...to use military force against those nations or...
This is what affected our family, by the way.
...organizations or persons he determines planned, authorized, committed, or aided the terrorist attacks.
Our war on terror begins with Al-Qaeda, but it does not end there.
The following month, the United States invaded Afghanistan in pursuit of Osama bin Laden, Al-Qaeda, and the Taliban. Then, in 2003, the U.S. invaded Iraq, based on faulty claims about weapons of mass destruction and Al-Qaeda collusion.
Yeah, this 3rd grade, like, that was, like, crazy.
Around the release of Call of Duty 4 in November of 2007, the mainstream Hollywood machine that so often guides rushed to tackle the actual wars. Hurt Locker wouldn't drop until 2008. Iron Man?
When I watched this in theaters of actual, like, terrible representation of, like, us, and, like, this is just crazy. I know we talked about the stupid scenes. Have you heard about the Green Beret horse soldiers? No.
War on Terror origin story was the same year. The mainstream Hollywood machine that so often guides gaming trends was treading lightly around this new era of warfare. It might have been because these wars didn't look much like the ones we'd mythologized in film, and they were unpopular. Public approval for the invasion of Iraq never reached anything resembling the enthusiasm for going to war after Pearl Harbor. World War II stories and games indulged in the unobjectionable fantasy of fighting the Nazis in what a lot of people consider to be one of the good wars, or at least the last one where we were the underdogs fighting a technologically superior, supremely evil enemy.
Yeah.
But nobody had codified the fantasy of modern war. Call of Duty 4 drifted away from the anonymous grunt protagonist and started building up the myth of the operator. Less Private Ryan, more Jason Bourne and Jack Bauer, a member of the highly trained, specially armed, hyper-competent few. There was an uncharacteristic streak of individualism in their designs.
There were U.S. Special Forces who went to Afghanistan like 3 days after 9/11 and helped Afghan tribal leaders unify against the Taliban. So that's a good thing.
Violence, with gross and embarrassing results. But by now it was too big to be stopped. The series started to bloat in all directions. It got darker, heavier, more violent, more full of thematic ambition. But But it also got much, much sillier. Modern Warfare 2 marked the beginning of a feedback loop that would fuel that bloat. Infinity Ward started adopting the language and aesthetics of their own hardcore fans. Fans who were playing to stack up game-winning kill cams in deathmatch, not meditate on the brutality of war. Kills unleashed clouds of fluttering dollar bills. Players would grind for hours and hours to unlock shiny gold-plated weapons and the coveted
That's a mosque.
Joint Ops title. The audience for this stuff didn't necessarily touch the can.
That Big Ben?
$1 billion in 16 days. At this point, the financial success of Call of Duty had made it a no-brainer business partner, despite, and I cannot emphasize this enough, being a video game where you do war crimes. It was marketed to hell and back with TV spots, a Doritos deal, and that's right, Mountain Dew. The perfect distillation of what Call of Duty had become was right there, in Playa Vista, nestled in the background of the Mountain Dew video. Hello, Jeep. Jeep had floor space at the event to promote their brand, specifically the Jeep Wrangler Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 edition. The special package included custom decals and embroidery, and a spare tire cover.
What people don't understand is that, like, this, like, subconsciously impacts your mind. No matter how you look at it, like, it's gonna impact your mind whether you like it or not. I'm just gonna skip to the end here.
It's a billion-dollar train with a lot of momentum and a busted engine and no brakes. It'll never be what it was, but maybe that's okay. And hey, we'll always have the Dew Bunker.
The thing is, he's a great narrator. He put a lot of time into this. 2 years ago? Wow, good for him. Literally good for him. But yeah, like the first for me like shooting video was literally Fortnite. Like my first and last one. Like I hated how it's just it looked so crazy realistic to me. And it's just like also of course like it didn't really attract me because it negatively affected like sometimes like at that time like when I was aware of it like of our culture. Yeah, exactly. Unless like you are like a logical thinker and like you separate between like game and life. Some people don't. It's scary. 12 Strong was good. You should watch the whole video off stream. It's pretty educational and eye-opening. Then, no, it is. I 100% agree with you. Like I 100% agree with you. I'll give it a go. As for tomorrow, we're gonna do the reaction for Guess the Lebanese. I think that's pretty much tomorrow on our agenda for Friday. We pretty much did everything else, but yeah, we could do your video. This guy.
The U.S. Army just paid $11 million to lose 38 enlistments. Let me explain. The Army's having a hard time getting recruits, so they went to $11 million to lose 38 enlistments. Let me explain. The Army's having a hard time getting recruits, so they went to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and said, hey, here's $11 million. All you have to do, the only thing you have to do is use your combined 396 million followers on Instagram and United Football League to try and push the Army. Well, the U.S. Army is saying that he didn't hold up his end of the bargain, so they're trying to recoup $6 million of that deal. It really shouldn't come as a surprise. I mean, in 2017, he tried his first In-N-Out burger. 2022, he tried his second first In-N-Out burger. 2023, he tried his third first In-N-Out burger. And Connor, it may not seem like a big deal, it's just a burger, but in the space of celebrity advertising, it's considered fraud. But it's still not as bad as when the U.S. National Guard spent $88 million.
Man, the way he's putting this all in one
Dollars on a deal with NASCAR and only got 20 recruits from that deal. I mean, in my opinion, if you're going to try and get a celebrity to try and boost military recruitments, at least get somebody who is in the military. I mean, people want someone they can relate to. They just don't want someone to come down from their little mansion on the hill and say, hey guys, you should join the military. I've never done it, but they're paying me $1 million per Instagram post to do it. So you should too. Whistling Diesel says it best in this clip.
Have to realize
the U.S. Army just paid $11 million.
Yeah, he definitely has it somewhere else. The other one, the history one. This one.
There's an old saying that history is written by the winners. However, this adage is far more relevant when it comes to ancient
skip around as well.
Thousands of years ago, it was far more common for the losers of a war to be completely eradicated or absorbed, and even in cases where that didn't happen, records from the larger, more powerful empire are more likely to be the ones that survive for millennia.
This cannot be done.
But in modern times, where it is rare for a war to result in the absorption or dissolution of entire nation states, both sides of a conflict have the opportunity to write their own history books. In general, these books will have wildly different accounts of what happened and why. So today, we'll be looking at 4 historical events that are taught completely differently in other countries. The American Revolution is one of the most important events in American history. Without it, the United States wouldn't even be its own country. It's where elementary school history class begins in the US, and they learn about the heroes and patriots that fought against a tyrannical British government to forever free themselves from the monarchy and create the greatest nation the world has ever seen. It's a very even-handed representation of events, unclouded by nationalism. But how is the American Revolution, or as they call it, the American War of Independence, taught in England? Do British schoolchildren learn about the band of ungrateful terrorists who revolted against the crown because they didn't want to pay their fair share of taxes like the rest of the British Empire? The American Revolution was fought for freedom, democracy, and the right to self-governance. It was the event that led to the creation of the United States, and the battles were fought within the nation's borders, and many of these are now...
That's a clear-ass picture. That's nice.
National landmark.
You can skip the part about Canada.
Nothing
Okay.
could be more important to Americans and the history of their nation. But to the British, one of their colonies rising up and revolting against British rule was just another Tuesday. And from the British perspective, the American Revolution was hardly the most important of the colonial rebellions. That was all happening an ocean away, and there were colonies closer to home that had a much greater impact on the empire. Today, the American Revolution is little more than a footnote in British classrooms. It is mostly seen as being important not because it was yet another colony that England was losing control of, but because of France's involvement in the war. Wanting revenge for their defeat during the 7 Years' War, France provided financial and military support to the colonists, hoping it could serve as a sort of proxy war against England. The burden of financing this war created an economic crisis that, when combined with the revolutionary ideology French soldiers brought back from the colonies, paved the way for the French Revolution. Because of its closer proximity to England and the large impact it had on Europe as a whole, the French Revolution is seen as far more important from a historical perspective, and the American Revolution is just some extra context for that event that teachers may or may not even bother to mention. There have been a lot of controversies surrounding Japanese textbooks and their attempts to whitewash the actions of Imperial Japan during World War II and the Second Sino-Japanese War. There's certainly good reason for the controversy as well. While Germany is often seen as the paragon of education, or when it comes to a nation properly teaching about a war they lost without shying away from even the most horrific details of their own actions, Japan is an extreme example of the other direction. Thanks to Japan's fundamental law of education, there is a textbook authorization system that requires all textbooks to receive approval from the Ministry of Education. Although no one specific textbook is forced on students, schools can only choose to use textbooks that have been properly vetted by the ministry. Now, at first blush, that doesn't sound too crazy. It's easy to argue that the Ministry of Education is ensuring that textbooks are of an appropriate standard, lest students receive books teaching them that 1 × 1 is 2. However, the ministry has used this authority to remove anything they deem objectionable from history books. This is problematic when it comes to teaching about World War II, because the Japanese famously committed a whole lot of war crimes. From murdering civilians to biological warfare experiments, killing prisoners of war to abducting women and girls for sexual slavery, it seemed that there was nothing that was off limits for the Imperial Japanese Army. Combine the atrocities committed by their military with the fact that Japan was on the losing side of the war, and it turns out that they would just prefer not to talk about it. In fact, textbooks barely cover those years at all. One textbook had only 19 pages covering all of 1931 to 1945.
Okay then, you gotta tell us what you learned in class.
which encompassed both World War II and the Sino-Japanese War. Amidst that, there was only a single sentence covering the atomic bombs, which should make it clear the level of detail, or lack thereof, that these history books were going into. As historian Stephen Ambrose famously put it in his book, To America, Personal Reflections of a Historian, quote, "The Japanese presentation of the war to its children runs something like this. One day, for no reason we ever understood, the Americans started dropping atomic..."
That's hilarious. But also, let's not forget that the Americans knew that the Japanese were coming to Pearl Harbor, and it gave the Americans the green light to drop this because they literally let the Japanese through. They knew they were coming. They just let it happen. They just let it happen. Just like last year, October 7th. They knew they were coming, but they let it happen so they can give them the green lights up for continuously. Any whoosies.
Atomic bombs on us. However, there's actually another
mass genocide and every other war crime in China and Korea, and the government still hasn't acknowledged it. No, that's why Koreans hate the Japanese. And Ren is literally, like, seeing it firsthand.
About Japan and World War II, or when it comes to Russia. In the United States, and indeed much of the West, it is taught that the Japanese surrendered because the atomic bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. But in Russian textbooks, that's not the reason that is given. Instead, they take credit for defeating Japan. A quick timeline for context.
That's so funny!
The bombing of Hiroshima occurred on the 6th of August. On the 8th of August,
that's another gross oversimplification, but it's too late to get into specifics. Oh, really? Do I have the wrong facts? No, please, if I said the wrong facts, I take it back. That's for what I learned. But you can please send links so I can go ahead and take a read.
Stalin officially declared war against Japan. On August the 9th, the second bomb was dropped on Nagasaki. The same day, just hours before the bomb was dropped, Russian soldiers engaged the Japanese in Manchuria. Within 10 days, the Russians had plowed their way through the Imperial Japanese forces occupying
I'm not wrong?
the Asian
Oh, okay.
continent, and they were ready to push onward to mainland Japan. While it wouldn't be fair to say that Russia's march toward mainland Japan was inconsequential, the idea that Russian aggression, rather than the threat of total nuclear annihilation, was the determining factor in Japan's surrender is a minority opinion that seems relegated almost entirely to Russian textbooks.
That's so funny. Oh, shit. Could you believe that this was in my textbook? This was in my history textbook. In 10th and 11th grade. Like they which means like they actually like it caught up to our timeline of us learning about it in the textbook when we literally experienced it firsthand. Pretty much we knew Japan was up to something, but we didn't know where they would attack and wouldn't accept they would go all the way to Hawaii.
Most of you watching this are too old to have learned about the 9/11 attack.
That's the closest place to go. Japan and Hawaii is not that far. In retrospect to any other capital.
From a textbook, instead having lived through it. How the events are handled in schools in the US isn't fully standardized yet, but there are a few consistent elements about how it is taught in school. To start, lessons about 9/11 are taught on the anniversary of the attacks as a memorializing event. It is generally taught in a simplistic and nationalistic way, focusing on how it was a shocking and unprecedented attack on US soil that resulted in the global community at large standing beside the US in their efforts to combat the terrorists responsible for the attacks. A lot of emphasis is also placed on the heroism of the first responders, many of whom lost their lives that day or in the years that followed as a result of health complications resulting from the rescue efforts. There will frequently be personal testimonials as well, with teachers or guest speakers talking about their memories and emotions from the day the attacks happened. However, because US history classes are taught chronologically and September the 11th falls at the beginning of the school year, the events of that day are taught
So after Pearl Harbor, they went to the Philippines and Australia, who had nothing to do with what's happening?
Out of order, so that the day itself can be memorialized. That means that there is no surrounding context about American actions in the Middle East in the decades leading up to the attacks or the war that followed them, and only a very simplistic view of a shocked world unifying to stand behind the United States.
It's because, oh my God, they attacked us. But why would they attack us?
In some schools, the narrative is even as simple as terrorists attack the United States because they hate freedom. Around the world, however, how the attacks are taught varies greatly depending on that country's relationship with the United States and the religious makeup of the nation. Countries with whom the US has somewhat strained relations may be far more critical of the US response. Although acts of terror are universally condemned, at least in official textbooks, these nations often focus more on the aftermath of the attacks and the perceived illegality of the United States' actions afterwards,
which is a military
the
base.
war in Iraq. In Islamic countries, textbooks don't refer to the attackers as Islamic fundamentalists, with varying degrees of obfuscation. For example, in Pakistani textbooks, they are described as unidentified terrorists, while Turkish textbooks contain the attackers' names but omit the fact that they were Muslim. These textbooks also tend to focus heavily on the civilian casualties in the wars that followed 9/11 and how the war on terror disproportionately affected Muslim countries. There are smaller differences as well, down to individual word choices. Depending on how they want to present the events, the words attackers or terrorists might be replaced with the word individuals. Accurately describing the events while using words with incredibly different connotations allows textbook authors to subtly influence how the events might be perceived by readers. But while different countries emphasize different aspects of 9/11 and the related events, perhaps the most disparate recounting of events comes from China.
I didn't know that.
In China, 9/11 is taught as a sign that America's dominance as the world's #1 superpower was coming to an end, largely glossing over the impact of terrorism around the world and instead focusing on geopolitical shifts from the perceived weakening of the US. All of that said, we're likely to see shifts over time in how the events leading up to, on, and following 9/11 are taught around the world. It's extremely rare for an event to make it into history textbooks less than a decade after it happened, meaning that none of the surrounding context is presented alongside it. In time, the disparities in how the events are taught around the world may disappear, but there's no telling how long that...
Do you watch this guy often? That was pretty interesting. Is this where you get your history information from? Because honestly, like that was really informative. Each country has their own like perception of the history books. I like that. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay guys, so here we go. End of the stream. See you guys tomorrow. Guess the Lebanese. First thing we're doing, Wind. You've been waiting all week for it. I like that. Thank you for sharing, everyone. It was fun. Thank you for having a great conversation. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll let you know what time. See you. Have a good night. Drink water. Please. Please drink water. Johnny.